DreamHack Masters Malmö is brought to you by Aces ROG, HyperX, and Monster Energy.
Day 2 of DreamHack Masters Malmö, and it is a day for the winners. 4 teams will be securing themselves a spot in the Malmö Arena playoffs in front of perhaps you. Tickets still available, and you guys can go ahead and get involved. The Malmö Arena will be bustling, and there will be some hustle as well. Hi, I'm your host, Machine, and we are back into the action. We've got Astralis Na'Vi next, and we've got a little change up on the desk. You have the beautiful Dane, who's basically a local here. If you know your geography, we have, of course, Mr. Pimp, Jacob Vinica. Alongside him, we have Chad Birchall, and we have Janko Paunovic as well. We've got a very international desk, and we have got quite the international affair ahead of us. We have the Danes taking on Na'Vi, and this is going to be a fun one to try and kind of get our heads around, because the first question I have to ask, Chad, is how much have we actually seen this tournament? Both of them are like 16-3, 16-4.
Let's put it this way, Alex. They've both had really good warm-ups.
Warm-ups.
Yeah, that's what you need. You want a nice little warm-up to get into the tournament.
Okay.
Versus a couple of bot teams, and then from there, you can get into the big matches like this one.
It is a big match. Best of 3. The winner gets that kind of, not only a top seed, but also just that sigh of relief. Like, okay, we've done it. No, not an extra day of play. Just keep it chilled. And I want to know, Jacob, just straight off the bat, when you see these two, with the roster change that did happen in Na'Vi, of course, getting Zeus back into the driving seat, the leadership side of things, is there a clear favorite to you in this one?
I still favor Astralis by quite a big margin.
Okay, let's walk through why that is.
That's why they're such a composed team, you know. They didn't make any changes whatsoever, and it seems like from the outside of at least, like, they're probably the most professional team we have in Counter-Strike right now. The whole setup, the whole Astralis organization, the way they play, the way they train, the way they get taken care of by physios, by everything, you know. The whole setup in Astralis is set up to win, you know. And that's how it works right now. And they have been winning, you know. They have been performing at majors, and they haven't changed any players. And it seems like they're such a well-collected and collaborated team, you know. So I don't see a Na'Vi coming in with a change for now, at least going up against Astralis. Maybe in the future, but I think it's a little bit too soon for now.
You've intrigued me, actually. I think that's an interesting kind of avenue to pursue. Chad, do you have anything to add to this kind of this professional approach, and whether that is the recipe for success? Is that the future, this Astralis kind of...
For sure. I think everyone needs to be jumping on that boat as soon as they possibly can. Yeah, because structure in and out of the game means you're going to be able to replicate results. It means that you're going to be able to go into it. Right. Exactly, and you're not going to rely on one guy rocking up and dropping 40 frags in a game for you to win it. Your strategies are very structured. The way that you go into a game means, hey, we're not going to have those performance issues of, did I get enough sleep? Did I eat the right foods? Did I have my chocolate bar too early in the day for that energy? Exactly. And if you can do this and you can have a regimen and you can do it time and time again, that's why, you know, you see these consistent players. Within this Astralis lineup, everyone is pretty goddamn consistent, I would say. Yeah.
Well, while they're having their vitamins and while we're naming letters, Group B is indeed where they are doing play. And the discussion to be had is, with the loss of Virtus Pro, perhaps the Renegades are going to be quaking in their boots, because no matter what they do, no matter what happens, it's either Astralis or Na'Vi that they'll be staring down the barrel of as they try and battle for a playoff spot. So this game is more of just a get it done now and see and avoid that curveball of Renegades. Janko, do you want to jump back into this conversation about this professionalism, or what do you make of the whole idea of moving into this, I mean, becoming more and more like the mainstream competitive sports?
I agree. I think one of the main benefits of it is, with that type of a mindset, players are more professional when it comes to practice and more focused in practice. And that's something that I think a lot of teams still don't do as well as they should, because in practice you should just try to do the same things you're going to do in an official game. That's where you don't feel uncomfortable. That's where there's no inconsistency, because you do the things you practiced. A lot of teams or players do sometimes random things in practice simply because it's not an official, and then when the game comes in and the situation repeats itself, well, you don't have a protocol that you've been following in practice. You're just doing something random, and that's where the inconsistency comes from.
Well, this is them. Just to put their faces on your screen while we do continue the conversation. Astralis. Seems that the panel are kind of smitten by their new approach to competitive Counter-Strike. It is regimented, it is structured, and it is, as you described it, Jacob, I'll let you kind of the words yourself. It was the most professional, you think, the most professional approach?
A league's looking from the outside, yeah. And I think it's a very good point Janko brought up, you know, especially practice, because from where I see it, Astralis is not the team in the world who practice the most, you know. They're just the most efficient with their practice. There's so many teams out there who like sits down and practice maybe 8 to 10 hours a day, you know, but in reality they maybe only have like 2 or 3 hours of good practice. Whereas a team like Astralis, every time they sit on the server, you know, they actually get something out of their time, you know, and that's a very key difference between a team like Astralis and some of the up-and-coming teams.
I think Glaive is definitely doing the most work in terms of preparation. We didn't even see him right there with the rest of the team. He was probably somewhere, you know, checking the demos, looking at his notebook, stuff like that. But yeah, Astralis is a great team. I think, unfortunately, you know, obviously they're the most consistent team we have in the last couple of months, 2017 for sure, but they haven't lifted as many trophies as they would like, certainly, and not as many as we would probably even expect. You know, a lot of top 4 finishes every single time, grand finals and so forth, but they've definitely been looking for more titles.
So here's the question: is whilst they are, you know, efficient, and whilst they are to a degree consistent, not necessarily in lifting trophies, why is it that there is some degree of a tag affixed to them that is their Counter-Strike, their brand of Counter-Strike isn't the most exciting to watch? Is it boring Counter-Strike to be effective and well-structured?
No, it's because they don't rely on one player getting, you know, a flashy 4K,
incredible,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's not like the G2s of the world where every single player in that team has enough to just go in and just bust
win
up
around.
We saw in Pro League last week, the G2 guys, like within one game, they had 3 different aces across 3 different players. It's like they were relying on individual skill or at least situations to get them through that. Whereas if you watch a team like this, it's more impressive for me to see the way that Device absolutely manhandled Fallen at the major on Overpass, or was it Cologne? Whichever one. It doesn't matter, lots of Counter-Strike. To see him do that and completely tear them apart, like in that manner, then for him to be getting, you know, a 4K every round or just those flashy clutches coming in every time, that kind of stuff for me, as a purist of Counter-Strike, is much more entertaining.
Absolutely, and going up against this style of Counter-Strike is a bit of an unknown entity. It's the Bumblebees. They are indeed black and yellow, and we're going to be seeing exactly what they're capable of. You can see there's Zeus back on the roster and looking rather happy for it. I just saw, actually walk past as I was taking my quick toilet break, seeing that Zeus was giving them one of his signature team talks, all included in the huddle, coach, manager, and he was just
videographer.
There was some decibel levels, and he was, I mean, I would have gone to battle for him at the end of that, I'm telling you. He hypes you up. If there's anything else Zeus does, he gives a good team talk.
Not only is he a good in-game leader, he's a good leader, right? That's what he brings to the team, that stature as well, of being able to say, like, look, I'm the commander in charge here. You're going to do what I say. There's no talking back to me. And that's great for someone like Simple, who we've seen evolve over a lot of the time, right? He's come into this team from Liquid. He was humbled in his Liquid days, having teammates actually have to carry him through a major qualifier. And now we have he looks like a very well-presented, humbled kind of man, you know, and seeing him in this team under the leadership of Zeus is very exciting. The problem up until this point, and definitely not in this tournament, the very few matches that we've seen of this team online was Simple having to do a lot of work. So we need the other key components to rock up, and I think if you look at a duo of Flamey and Simple, that's something that's very exciting for this roster. We just need someone else to be a consistent third star, and we're in the right place.
I mean, I certainly would be scared getting to a server where, you know, Flamey and Simple are both gunning for you. 2 very scary young bloods to the game of Counter-Strike, and then you have Mr. Backbone Edward there, who will always be present and will always be able to do what is necessary. I think, would you put Edward and Zipnix in a similar role category? I know that everyone praises Zipnix for being the kind of king of his craft. Do you think Edward has a similar position, Pimp, or is it a different discussion?
Sort of. We're yet to see with Zeus on the team. I think Edward could move into a position where as Zipnix has on Astralis, but for now we haven't seen it too much. I'd say that also, like, Zipnix is in a different league in that category. Like, Zipnix is the best support player out there with Taco.
And it does seem like we're going to be jumping straight on into that veto process. Already the Danes have taken Cobble out of the running, and bye-bye Cash. Nothing has changed, it seems.
Yeah, the vetoes are pretty clear-cut. This is where Astralis obviously has a big advantage when it comes to the actual map pool. But yeah, it's very interesting to see them going for Overpass instead of Nuke. Nuke is the obvious one you would expect them to go for. Na'Vi wasn't very impressive on that map, even though they tried picking it up. For Na'Vi, it was going to be most likely Mirage. Perhaps Train was the other map they could have went for, prepared for Mirage more. So Nuke is their last ban, and Astralis goes for the Inferno ban.
You okay there, Chad?
Where's the punish? Like, why not just grab Nuke and just go, we're going to stomp you on it? It's not a map that you're particularly well known for playing. Astralis, on the other hand, can look very competitive on that map against some of the best in the world. So this is the thing. Astralis are normally known for vetoing in the sense of they will pick your weaknesses and just beat you on it because they have such a solid map pool other than Cobblestone. This was very clear-cut, the 5 maps that were going to be left, but I don't understand.
What would you have made more sense to you?
Just picking Nuke. Right now, you like Overpass, you're playing into the wheelhouse of Na'Vi, right?
Okay.
To an extent. I feel them watching Na'Vi perform, albeit online, in their 2 games on Overpass, they probably weren't impressed. Not just with the result that Na'Vi had, they lost both to Heroic and Fnatic, but maybe with the style that they were running. Maybe Astralis feels, okay, the style that we have and the way we play Overpass is perfect for what they're going to do. And we can't forget that Astralis is still probably the best Overpass team. I mean, they only had a couple of outlier losses pretty much in the whole year, more or less. So it's not that big of a shock. Nuke can be a bit of a snowbally map as well, right? I believe that who picks the map, the opponent picks the side, so perhaps they don't want to start on the T side of Nuke.
Something to be considered. I do want to make sure we get that featured matchup up because that is something that is definitely worth showing both us here at the desk and also you guys at home. There is a fun one here. I mean, the tip of your tongue as soon as we asked about it, Chad, was, you know, we get to see Device taking on none other than Simple. That's going to be a little head-to-head.
Yeah, you have someone who is like super sound as a fundamental AWPer of Device, who can also be flashy, and he knows when to drop the AWP and pick up a rifle going into, you know, a bomb site. And then you have Simple on the other hand, who is a combat AWPer through and through. He can actually do it all as well, but he's a lot more flashy. He's a lot more aggressive.
Kind of fire and ice, clash of styles kind of thing.
I mean, in that sense, it's similar to the duel we had between Device and Fallen at the Major, right? Simple is more similar to Fallen in his AWPing playstyle than he is to Device.
Getting to see them. Sorry to interrupt you, Jacob. I know you had something to say. I just wanted to make sure we got those.
It's more like, as they said, like it's Simple. He's the guy you let loose from your team. He's the guy you let do stuff on his own, and you like play on that. You know, whereas Device have a set plan with his team. He's supposed to do something, and if he does it well, then the team like plan will work. You know, so it's 2 completely different styles, and we're gonna see which one will prevail in this game.
We will see. It's gonna be a full best of 3. Fingers crossed. I would like a 3 maps, and actually 3 is the magic number. Yanko, what have you got for us? Who are you backing? Which horse are you backing in this group?
Yeah, in this particular matchup, I'm backing Astralis simply because I believe that, for one, Astralis has a deeper map pool. That's where I thought their first strength is going to lie. They're going to go for Nuke, but even with Overpass, I still think they have an advantage across the series. For Na'Vi, it would have to be a situation of them overachieving or overperforming in this series to take them down. The second reason for Astralis is simply that they have more structure than Na'Vi have at the moment. Yes, they brought back Zeus recently from Gambit, but Na'Vi, that's the third reason. They just need more time. With the playstyle that they like to run, that Zeus likes to run with a default style, spread around the map, take map control. It's going to take some time for the players to get used to that playstyle. Simply because with C's, there was too many players trying to, you know, voice their ideas and so forth. It was a bit of a mess. So I think Astralis right now is just a more structured, more regimented squad, and they will be able to take down Na'Vi in this best of 3.
I see synchronized nodding heads. Yanko, you seem to be convincing this panel, as well as, of course, logic states right here, Jacob, that a team that's been established and has results behind them and a fresh new, I say fresh new roster, it's such a weird way to phrase it, but a roster that has just kind of recalibrated, you would definitely expect the win to be going one way.
Exactly. Like the only problem I see for Astralis in this game could be Simple, you know, and could be the fact that he goes totally crazy, you know. He has the ability to be the best player on the server in this matchup. So if he becomes the best player in this game, then there's a chance for Na'Vi.
Okay.
But I'm completely on board with Janko, especially the fact that Astralis picked Overpass. You know, that's such a confidence pick to me, because they know Na'Vi are good on it, but they know they're better. You know, so why go into uncommon ground on Nuke when you can just pick your own strength? You know, so perfectly told by Janko. I'm on board with the Astralis train.
And Chad, finally, you going to be going full Dane?
It's all been covered. Yeah, I'll just go with Astralis.
Okay, nodding heads all around, nodding Danish bulldogs perhaps, as we are getting ourselves locked in for this one. Full Astralis from us. We'll be talking about the maps ourselves, amongst ourselves for these predictions, because we need those points. But points aside, your casters are standing by. What's going down in Chinatown? Henry G and Sado. Boys, are you excited to see a little bit of Na'Vi flair, or is this just going to be an Astralis walk in the park?
I'm excited to see Simple main AWP for Na'Vi. Yeah. I think he's quite an erratic player going against Device. I think that's going to be quite fun to watch, especially on the CT side as well. I think he'll dictate the pace of the game. I think that's going to be something to watch, and I agree with Pim. I think that's the key fact going into this one. I don't think Na'Vi are necessarily ready for a team like Astralis in the best of 3, but opening we get to 3 maps and we can have a bit of a showing from both teams.
I think that water is wet, bears shit in the woods, and this is going to be a good game of Counter-Strike, guys.
Oh, perfect. I'll leave it on those beautiful notes. It is, of course, the Commonwealth couple. Take it away.
Thank you very much. Commonwealth couple's nice.
I prefer creamy couple.
Well, you have an affinity affection for pie and people getting creamed
Well,
by
Jason
them.
and Anders, they're called the creamy bears, so we could be the creamy couple.
Okay, sure. I've never been... Oh, wait, I have been pied. Thanks, Carmack, for that backstab, Jason. I won't forget that you were involved in that. I'll remember these things. Don't you worry.
Well, Na'Vi versus Astralis. We meet again. You and I, that is.
That is true. They also meet again, but different iteration with Simple on the main op, as you just mentioned. Look, Na'Vi yesterday looked quite good against Virtus Pro, but we never really know what that means because we never really know what Virtus Pro bring to the table. I'm sick of it, but it's a fact. Sometimes teams might just outplay them. Who knows? Sometimes teams get gifted a little bit more leverage than perhaps they have earned in a particular match. So overall, yeah, Astralis, let's see what you got, because it's pressure on them. Didn't win the major, obviously went out to Gambit, who went on to win it. And all the favorites had similar fates against Gambit.
Sure. Well, we'll see what happens here. It looks like we're almost ready to get into it. I can see all the players on the server right now, and they'll be bringing in the potential knife round. I'm not sure which. I think it might be the main thing, you know, the main event about to begin. If you're just joining us, it's the second best of 3 of the day of winners games. The winner of this best of 3 will go to the playoff. Losing not out of this tournament, but gives them a bit more of a difficult path to those playoff series. We'll see what happens here on Overpass. I do favour, especially on this map, that Astralis run over Na'Vi, and we'll see how the series develops. It'll be indicative as to where it will go. If Na'Vi can get double digits on Overpass, I think that'll be a success in its own right.
Well, it's another series by which the map pool, we think, dominates, or doesn't dominate, but dictates one team's favorites over the other. Certainly didn't turn out to play that way for North and SK, as North were able to win that series. Boost up above the boards, 2 inside of the water position. This is a reasonably good position, and a boost as well to see into the stairwell, confirm that there is a presence from Na'Vi. Good information early from Astralis. Now the question is, how do they rotate in accordance? The 2 players boosting in the site naturally will be the first to rotate back through the stairs toward A.
Here we go. Towards A, we will indeed end up for Na'Vi here. 1 smoke, presumably used towards CT spawn. That'll be thrown in momentarily. That'll be the final commitment as well. The CT's ready and waiting. Device tucking himself in the corner that never gets checked in CSGO. And his teammate Glaive to bait him in somewhat.
Shots in.
Check this time.
Yeah, Zeus has definitely spotted up Device as they immediately rounded the corner and looked his direction. Glaive, meanwhile, goes back out from the bank stairs. He's lost his teammates, but he's willing to take the fight no less. Goes down, though, however, as Zipix will try and battle on. Good shot on Flamey. That temporarily dropped the bomb. If anything, that's his best chance of trying to get back into the round, but they can easily rotate it around. Good find on Simple. Does he know, however, that they're pushing onto his position? He certainly does. Wraps to find Zeus. Zipix has a third, and he's got 1 more to find to win out the round. He's already got the shots. He's got the damage as well. Seized is down to 28. Zipix just backs off, spots toward the stairs. No kit for Zip, but he's got the armor over Seized, which favors him in the duel. He's just got to be quick about finding his target. Quick tap should bring Seized back up the stairs. He knows he's rotated off, but he's looked the wrong direction. Does he spot? He does. Has to chase? No, he doesn't, because he's got the kit. That could be enough in it alone, because now Seized is thinking he doesn't have the time. Checks it, realizes he's still on it. Zipix can't hold and gets off it. Seized just barely pulls it back.
It had 1 second on the defuse there when he came off the bomb. I think he probably could have held on and had a chance of winning the round. Would have been really touch and go. I'm not 100% sure. But Zipix, an admirable effort there. 3 kills in total. Almost gets the 4th as well. Dinks up Seized. But clever play by Na'Vi towards the end. It was a very default approach at the start, getting that basic map control, negating the boost towards the connector, and at that point, execute towards the site. Bomb planted looked very comfortable, but Zipix turned up, and be one of the very best clutches we have in CSGO. Can't quite win it out, though. 1-0 for Na'Vi. 4 AKs purchased by Na'Vi here. It's interesting, but I normally at least see a couple of SMGs for the utility factor, but they still have 2 smokes to work with here. Forced by, of course, from the Astralis side. Even Device is getting stuck in there with the Scout. No one for him, but CZ's 5.7s and P250s around him with a couple of smokes to work with as well. It looks like a boost coming in towards the B side as well. Zipix boosting up his teammate, Glaive. And looking towards the squeaky door right now to see if they can find that first pick.
He's toward that door. Glaive's not exactly exposed to it, but can't see it as he decided to step to his left on top of his teammate's head. Strong neck, Xyp9x has. Good nade. Straight into the face of Zeus. Puts him on to 52 HP. Meanwhile, Flamey. Xyp9x will get him down, so that's actually favoring Astralis on the way to the site. They still can't respond either as they continue to try and spray through to exactly where Glaive's playing. Seized gets Dupree. Glaive popping up, finds him in return. It's all been traded back. It's still the favor for Astralis. Zeus down, Simple up. Edward with the bomb. Thankfully, Simple was smart enough to backpedal and find Xyp9x trying to catch them out by pushing through a smoke they'd already bypassed. That should allow the plant, which should being the operative word, come out to the round if everything stabilizes, but they still have a scout to contend with in Device's hands.
No kits to work with here. Device, he needs to find the opening pick, and he needs to find it right now. Not going to happen. Simple and Edward strike at the same time to find round number 2 there for Na'Vi. Got a little bit problematic there. Some interesting decisions from Na'Vi to just walk into the B bomb site one by one against the CZs, against that force buy. Always going to be a little bit problematic there. They give away a couple of kills, and it comes down to a 2-on-2, but looking quite comfortable towards the end there. I think C's did call for a pause, but he says never mind. It's absolutely fine. We're going to run with 3 here. Has to be the full eco for Astralis. Now on the rocky road to getting back into this game. First gun round won't be brilliant for them. Meaning they probably won't have the AWP. Or potentially no defuse kits here. Defuse kits are $400 in CSGO. Previous iterations are $200. So it's a little bit more difficult to get those in your back pocket. Mac 10s, UMPs, a couple of AKs as well, but it's that silenced USP, and once again, walking up short, giving frags away for free, more or less. There's so many angles to check there. It's a little bit arrogant, I think, just to walk up and try and find frags on that side of the map without any sort of flashbang or smoke deployed. Should be fine for the round, generally speaking. There's another dink. Simple goes down to 27 HP, but he has got control of the A site.
Simple toward the dumpster, can't find the headshot, ensuing behind. Edward, meanwhile, Mac 10 tries his very best, his utmost, to push them back further. It manages to hold them off long enough to get the bomb in, as intended. And kill for for Flamey, rather. And then Edward gets 2 on the Mac 10, and that'll close the round. Simple does the last damage. 3-0 Na'Vi. Guns will be in the mix. The AWP for Device will be a glass cannon. I'm just trying to catch a look at his spawn. It's actually quite deep, so he won't be able to get toward the flower pot, or excuse me, the fountain in front of bathrooms, but he could, if he wanted, go over toward B. He's not. He's actually going to go flower pot, so fair enough. The correct flower pot, the real one, not the fake one, the fountain.
Device yet to frag. We'll see if he can step up here with the AWP. That's where he does his best work on Overpass. Can't be backing him up towards the bathrooms there. And Simple, as we mentioned in the pre-game, now the main AWPer for Na'Vi. After losing Guardian, who, to be fair, wasn't really in the most fantastic form towards the end of his tenure within this side. So I like this idea. I think Simple definitely can fill the role of a main AWP. And we'll see whether he can step up here today. We saw it look very exciting in previous matchups. Towards long for now, and he's spamming off the silenced USP. Flashbang towards long now from Simple, and he will take the challenge momentarily.
Worth it to fire into the tree.
Just in case. Now he has got control. Device fires off a shot while blind. He has to pull back to a more defensive line at this point. Kiabi, we follow him. He's in a very difficult position. You see players on the left-hand side towards bathroom and towards long as well. Lost the backup of his teammate, and a lovely shot by Flaming there. Good flashbang as well. Finds him the 5-on-4.
Flashbang ultimately led to an easy kill. As Glaive waits behind the truck inside of sight. Device is there as well. Xyp9x has already rotated. There's time that they could go back to B, but with 30 seconds, long way around without information, this will be an A hit. Nice forward of the stairs. Molotov in front of him, but not behind until now. And he decides to go all the way back on it. That's going to buy space for Na'Vi. It means Glaive has to hit shots on his own. Uses the truck. Xyp9x is baited in. As a result of it, he's got 3 on the flank. Finally, he's answered and taken down. I take it back. I thought he came for the flank. He was beside Glaive the whole time, which now it's his opportunity to strike. As he finds Simple, Flamey responds, but you're right. There's 1 second on the clock. It's a 1-on-1. There's no time for the kill either. He can't find Dupree.
Xyp9x My God, that was some round from him. All the players from Astralis go down, but they do win the round indeed. It'll be a very difficult investment into the next. I'm sure we'll watch how this went down. 2 players towards the truck position here. Wow. Just straight up through the smoke towards long. Why not? Using the map as a gauge as to where he has to aim. Takes the shot, finds 2 and a third as well. And as you can see, sure they win the round, but now the reinvestment very difficult indeed. 2 Famases, 2 UMPs, and M4. It's always difficult when all 5 players go down if you win the round on the CT side, especially when you're not established yet. No kits, of course. Debris of no utility whatsoever. Similar story for Device and Zipex. We'll see what they can do here as we get back towards long A. Simple, he still has his orb. Plenty of money for the terrorist side here. And they'll be aware of that as well. Zeus, known to have a very slow, methodical approach to the T side. Will not be enough here as he goes down to the UMP of Kiabi.
Flamey starts to push up toward long. Pushing his way toward the site. He's found by Dupree first, though, with the FAMAS. Spots another shoulder of Edward. Just as he was about to go left with the boxes, it's the right side by which Edward strikes. Catches out Dupree and Device, apparently, because back inside the bathrooms, he retreats to the site, greeted by ground already occupied by Edward, and now Simple will plant. Good nade from Glaive. He will not plant. That bomb gets flung forward and then pursued as Glaive pushes through to find Edward. Watch out the flank of the backside. Sees one all the way around, hoping to establish control of bathrooms, anticipating perhaps the plant would come sooner, but never did.
Well, against all odds, and with that lackluster buy, it's Device and co with the UMPs, the Famases that come out on top. Not sure how they did it, but UMP from Kiabi in towards that connector, found the first frag, follow them up long towards the bomb site. And no bomb going down means it's an eco, and an interesting buy from Edward. He gets a P90.
Love it.
You get a P90 head armor. It's the most expensive SMG at 2350.
With the least kill reward.
Least kill reward. It's very rare to see that these days in CSGO, but he brought it out in this round.
Prevalent in 2013.
Yeah, it was a big deal back then. But Device, he's back on the AWP, picks it up from Simple in the last round. 3-2. Astralis get back into their best map in the pool, especially on the CT side. I guess on the T side as well. They're probably the best T side team on Overpass. But now I'll be looking to strike back here. Maybe the P90 is the secret weapon. And we've been mocking it, and it's going to work out for him.
Short tunnel toward construction. It's seized, already in position on the CZ-75. Dupree will wait inside of Monster. Smoked off. He actually wants to play closer to it in case they decide to flash or push. He'd hold the helm. Let's see what the P90 has. Spray and pray all day, baby. Zipex back turn might go down to it. Does! Edward finds the kill as Flamey found Dupree, over his shoulder, but Glaive spots 2 in return on the M4. And unfortunately, our favorite gun in the entire game has been put to the floor.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an exciting start there, but it has been subsided now by the Astralis team. 3-on-2, 20 seconds remaining. The bomb will be planted towards A, in fact.
They've realized it.
Actually happening, and sees he finds a kill towards B. This could still work out. Simple, Deagle in hand. Sure, he's got low HP, but he's got a decent angle. Takes down Device, got the AWP. HP's not a factor. There it is. Now it's a 1v1 technically, but Seized is coming in on the flank. He's in the bathrooms now. He's joining him.
The one kill was all Simple needed because he bought the space and time for the rotation, and the hesitation is now in the mind of Kiabi. He'll get the opening kill, but Seized is ready, and he's got the AK. Has to surely anticipate the fact that he's rotated around from B after getting the kill that he did get. Kiabi tries to go above the smoke to see him. Oh, I think he just did as he dropped down. That might be enough to discourage. He's going to get on it anyway. Seized, spots inside of the smoke and makes no mistake on the spray.
The problem is the smoke was tied to the right-hand side of the bomb as well, so he was only going to be in one place, right? That pre-fire is a little bit easy. You can see the left-hand side of the bomb. So pretty much knew exactly where he was, but what a round that was from Na'Vi to get back into it. It's the P90, the Deagles, and the P250s. Simple with the very clever play there. As soon as his teammates went all in towards B and found a couple of kills, he's planting at A. And like I said, with that Deagle as well, his HP is not a factor. When Device is coming in from bank with the AWP, if he can find him and make him miss a shot, wins the round. Bought enough time for Seas to rotate in as well, and they force Astralis down to an eco here. P250s, USPs, and Dupree with the Deagle. Arguably one of the best Deagle players in the entirety of Denmark. We'll see whether he can do anything with it this round. We've had some insane rounds from him on Overpass with that weapon. But for now, once again, back towards A Here's Na'Vi. 3 along, 2 middle. Contact play, I don't think they'll execute too heavily here. Keep the guns out. Ready to strike, and it's simple to find the first shot. As he takes down Glaive, that should be the round done.
Shots through. Edward pushing around. Push King, apparently, but the King will be drinking some wine because he's gone down. Device getting the shot back in return. It's still a 3 versus 3. Bomb planted. 1 SMG picked up, 4 Device to try and work with. Okay, still in handle for Simple, and a good shot. Great shot to find Kiabi to exactly the angle that he's looking for at the dumpster. He's gonna go back for the same shot, and the same result. Xyp9x goes down. Simple does it all, including an assist on Device. We go 5-2 for Na'Vi.
And he's getting to an okay position for Astralis. It'll be another difficult buy here. I don't think they'll be bringing out any P90s just yet, but Kiabi's only got $3,700. Here's the replay of Simple finding more and more frags there. Like you said, 5-2 in favor. CIS team, no AWP this time for Device. It's a FAMAS for Kiabi. Glaive on just the SMG as well, and we're going towards B this time. Zeus wants to mix things up. This could be either a B rush or a full set piece, splitting between Short and Monster. There is some CT presence though coming in as well. 2 players pushing off that area, and it looks like the CTs will get all the frags. Dupree, double spray down there, baited in by his teammate who's spraying through the B wooden panels, and he's doing damage as well, and it's going to be funneling them back towards Monster, and this is an easy Astralis round. Zeus gets 1 back with the HE grenade. Simple sits in a smoke, but now a 4-on-2. Surely nothing they can do this round, and maybe that's confirmed after Glaive takes down the bomb and Simple.
Zeus backs well out of the picture. Bomb's down, so even though there's a minute to work with, he'll try and make it expensive in any way that he can, but not pursue the round. It's a long drawn-out affair at this point, because Astralis don't have the money to afford pushing, chasing. And they know it, and they'll play discipline as a result of it. Smart calls. Glaive, by the way, speaking of calls, in-game leader, leads the way on 10 kills. 1 behind that of Simple. Device, on the other hand of that, if you want to talk about star potential and AWP in specific, 1 kill.
That's correct, 1 for 7. That was the fast B approach there from Na'Vi, completely shut down by Dupree. He pushes off towards Short. Nades and flashbangs deployed. He gets the double spray down, falls back, still alive for now. 10 seconds remaining. Looks like Zeus will just be holding on to his weapon as he sticks towards long, now in the bathrooms. Astralis had another round to their total. Keeping 4 players alive this time as well. Money has been a massive issue for them, generally speaking, but they'll be absolutely fine here. Still can't buy the AWP, need to win 1 more round. Flamey will be dropping the orb for Simple, and here's the replay. As I can see, as I said, there was a little like spam coming through where the CTs usually boost behind the wooden boards, and then they were just so focused on that. They thought the boost was coming through, I think. Dupree used that as a cue to run around the corner, find those 2 kills. They had no idea that could be a possibility. All for Simple, the force spike coming through. 2 pistols, 2 AKs, one of which was saved. And this could be the chance for Astralis to tie things up. Win this round, fully go for Na'Vi next.
Oh, did you see the foot? I didn't think it was fully visible, but it may have been. X-ray certainly made it look misleading. Glaive goes back out toward construction. Smokes off short tunnel that, in theory, gives him more room to work with if he wanted to get a better angle toward the bottom of Squeaky Door. Thus far, he's not moved. Bomb well back toward T-spawn in the stairwell. As they start to pursue the underpass, is the exact moment as well that Kiabi is also pushed up in the bathrooms, which gives him good information, but they should anticipate that they're likely in the depths of a small underpass position, given that they've not spotted them anywhere else. Even with looking, Kiabi's going to continue on. He could be in a perfect position and with timing to flank if they hit B. He's gotten inside the stairwell. Zeus is a sitting duck. Down he goes.
Yeah, big frag for Kiabi to pick up there. Tunnels them towards the monster tunnel. They'll be going all in here, but getting flashed off. Time ticking away, and flashes once again. They're getting completely wrecked here. Not in terms of fragging, but it's utility usage by Astralis. Smoke finally deployed on the side. That'll be their chance to try and get this bomb down, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. Flamey, he's got it, and they still can't get near the site. Look at it all. Flames coming in now. This can't get near the bomb site itself. 10 seconds remaining.
Good shot from Flamey to get Glaive. They're low HP. He could have easily swept them up under the rug, but Kiarbi's gotten simple. Bomb plant, not even. Flamey gets off, and he wants to take fights and catch them off with his best opportunity as Xyp9x will put him down. We're back to within 1, and 9 rounds done. It's 5-4.
Yeah, Astralis getting in the zone now. They bring out the AWP as well, but what a brilliant round by them. Reading it very nicely indeed. Getting that early 5-on-4 with Kiarbi, finding the player in towards Connector. They have to go all in through the monster tunnel. Just the flashbang, just so relentless as well. Buying Astralis so much time and dropping the utility in terms of the incendiaries at the right time. Na'Vi can't even get a bomb down there. Has to be full eco. PG-50s. Some Deagles, that's about it. No armor, no nades. Going towards Connector. It's going to be Dupree to greet them. Runs out of bullets towards the end there. Did substantial damage. One more bullet would have taken down Zeus, but not meant to be. Now it's a 4-on-4.
Deva goes down, touches the flames, backs out, goes in again. He's made a lot of noise, so has to be very careful. At least confirmed they were there on the re-peek.
And that's fine. They don't need to find the frags here. They know they've got pistols and they haven't really got much to work with in terms of the nades. Just make them go towards the bomb sites here. You can hold crossfires and take them down with a superior weaponry.
Even with the M4 picked up, they're still superior in the fact that Seized has no armor. They call it aim punch. It's a bit like fruit punch, just doesn't taste as good. Glaive, good shot. Seized down, bomb drop. Device will have some of that pie. Simple gets him back with a Deagle. Not the first time it's been an op versus Deagle, and Simple's won that exchange between the two players. Last time it amounted to a round. This time it'd be a tall order. 42 seconds, though, but Simple on an AWP. Give it a chance.
I'll give it a chance.
Didn't have to say give it a big one. Just give it a small chance.
Oh, well, Xyp9x, he's given him the big one. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Didn't know that about Xyp9x.
And it will be tied up.
Let me just jot that down.
5-5, and we should have another buy coming in for Na'Vi here. No AWP available this time. I'll have a look at Deve's score. He's still on 2 for 9, but they're getting back into this now. He's got the AWP out. I dare say he'll get back into this game swimmingly. 5 rounds to go, and we'll see if he can have one of his trademark opening frags here on the map. He's going towards B this time. Doesn't smoke off towards short, but it goes off and goes aggressively to try and find his first pick, and it's going to be Glaive, though. Through the smoke. Gifted that one as Edward pushes through as well. Nice incendiary to buy him a little bit more time. That should force Flamey out into the situation with Glaive is looking so good right now. 4-on-3. And Kiarbi ready for any players to overextend at this point as well. Device. He falls back towards the connector. This is the shot that really counts here, and I have to say, Kiarbi's position, it was looking promising, but against these sort of players, this round shouldn't really be falling back. I think they should have fallen back with the situation they had. Out 3-on-2.
Yeah, much sooner, especially the last kill, just sitting in the open. Xyp9x and Dupree. Trying to play this together somewhat. Xyp9x stays to the window. He's actually committed to the B site now, so I take that back. I thought he'd stay closer to Dupree on A, but they're going to split the sites rather than play a retake in hopes that they'll find at least a pick early. The next pick, therefore. Silent Seized could be misleading because he looks to trying it toward B. Okay, he's given it up. If he had continued on past sandbags right after Xyp9x had gone behind him, that could have cost them because they might have rotated on his information, but he never goes that far. They go back toward A. Xyp9x is still going to try and time this to be perfectly aligned with their backsides as they walk toward Dupree, who's sitting in a corner that's good for 1, but 1 and done. Maybe even less than that because commonly checked and they've got the time to do it. They walk in, he gets the bomb, sees the shadow as well. No Simple still playing. Xyp9x should arrive any second. That's exactly the plan. They're too slow and Xyp9x gets both. I take it back. Dupree got 1, but still, point stands.
Well then. He said that would be a difficult situation for him, but apprehensive Na'Vi. They didn't want to give him more than 1 frag there, Matt. They wanted to hold up and challenge him together. That was perfect, considering the flank was coming in from Connector. Xyp9x with the perfect timing there. Comes around the corner, takes both of them down, and there it is. A perfect finish to the round. It's going to be 6-5 now. Round number 12, and what I can see, not a forced buy from Na'Vi. Flamey's certainly all in. He's down to $400, but a partial buy. Lost Ben is starting to come in their favor now as Glaive. He goes aggressive towards middle. Same story for Device as well. Taking on those first 2 frags. 3 to go, make it 2, and it's going to be a very quick round indeed. Zeus, the final player here for Na'Vi. Holes towards the playground. Smoked out. He might just walk to his certain death. There it is. KRB finds him. Now Astralis, they're high rolling. Remember, they were 5-2 down, and now 7-5 up. So a complete swing in the game, and 5 rounds in a row for Astralis. No orb for this round. Coming to the closing sector, well, I think he just buy the orb. Maybe Device isn't fitting it today. He's in 3 for 10. Maybe he's just said to his team, you know what? I'm not hitting anything. It's not really working out for me and getting out-dueled. Let me just stick on the rifle. Hasn't always been a full-time AWPer.
No, but he has been successful since his switch to it. Exactly. Due to a lot of analytics.
Sometimes you just have to listen to your gut there. Like, some days your won't work out for you. You can't just be stubborn and say, I'll stick on it. Like, maybe it's the call they have to make. Like, it's situational, right? You have to be the bigger man and say, look, I'm not hitting anything today. Let's just go 5 rifles here. It seems to be working.
Well, they've got the lead back after being down 5-2.
Just to note as well, Astralis don't really have a secondary AWPer. So if Device isn't hitting anything, who picks it up? Dupree, technically it's a secondary.
Dupree, yeah.
But it's not reliable. I don't think you want to take him off an AK. So
give it to Dupree. It's funny they don't have a second operator. They used to have 3.
Yeah, right. Well, Carrigan was there.
And Cajun.
Yeah, that's right.
KRB, good enough. Gigs down 2 with the M4 at long. Device back inside, takes the bomb out of the hands of Simple. Wins the exchange with the M4, you're right. Without the op, has no problem with Simple. Zeus will walk up from the depths of the underpass and get taken down.
It up.
Picked up the op. Yeah, didn't buy it, picks it up. Thanks for the investment. I'll take that. Maybe that's the trick. He's better with other people's AWP.
Yeah, maybe that's it. He's been blessed by Simple. 5-1, C's. Not really much he can do with this round. There's still a maximum loss bonus, but bombs certainly won't be planted. It's down towards the bathroom this time, and Na'Vi, very slow defaults being shut down time and time again. KRB and Device doing a great job towards the bathroom there, finding the kills in the connector. And then C's gets one back. He finds Zipex, but it's not really going to be affecting things that severely in the bigger picture. Him surviving something. There it is. Glaive with the final frag. And it will be 8-5, 2 rounds to go. Open hand to Device right now. 2 frags in the previous round. Towards long they went at the very start. Great spray control from KRB. Another partial buy here from Na'Vi. No bombs going down in the last 5 rounds. Or 6, I should say. They timed that one out. So, since the beginning of this game, when they had that 5-2 start for winning the pistol, they have dropped off somewhat, haven't they? And they move into the second half, and that's where things get a little bit scarier. The Astralis T half on Overpass. CZs, AKs, and we are seeing the CZ completely replace the Tech-9 right now. It seemed like Tech-9 isn't a nerf, it's just gone.
It's true, yeah. And it was...
Everyone's using the CZ.
They've gone back to it, you're right. And it's been a slow and subtle change because the Tech-9, some people I'm sure were stubborn. It was so powerful for such a long time. But yeah, the CZ is back in force.
I haven't been able to use the new Tech-9 myself yet, so I can't really comment that much, but I don't know, it seems like the nerf didn't make it this much of a... I don't know, like...
I still hate the draw speed on the CZ.
Yeah, the IKEA pistol. Gotta assemble it yourself.
You do, good point, you do. IKEA pistol, does it come with meatballs?
No, those are bought separately.
Well, we're here in Sweden, maybe we can talk to IKEA and get them added.
An IKEA skin.
If you pick up in store, they'll include the meatballs.
Towards B we go. The final play from Na'Vi in this round. Looks like they're all in. KRB having a bit of a blinder so far to hold them off.
KRB's waiting for Zeus, but he might get caught out. Good spot and turn. Good reaction to almost find a third onto Edward as well. I was sure he was going to get taken down from behind before even finding a single kill, so very well done in the position. However, still problems. As the bomb has been planted, they have an AWP on the retake and no kits in play. Flamey's in a decent position as well if Device even dare walk forward and try and go above him. Flash in, Flamey knows that they're there. Will go up, doesn't even need to find the first kill. His teammates already got it. Smoke, that's not what he wants. It's not a frag grenade. But it will allow him to play an unorthodox position that somehow works to find Glaive, and Na'Vi find their first round in, I believe, 6 that have gone against them.
Yep, that's absolutely correct, and that was a difficult force buy for them as well. The CZs, as we pointed out, seem a lot more prevalent these days since the latest patch, and finding all manner of kills there. AKs didn't have to do too much work. We're going to round number 15. 8-6 is the overall scoreline. Double AWP to finish things off. We did say the secondary AWP technically for Astralis is Dupree. Can he rise to the occasion this time? We'll try and keep on board with him as Flamey coming in his direction. Does spot him just about, I think. Let's see if Dupree can find the shot. He can indeed. Lovely work. And he'll be falling back now with the man advantage.
Edward waits at the fountain. So cautious as Kiabi sits on the other side just waiting to attack. If he makes one wrong move, Astralis will happily take a 2-man late in the round. Meanwhile, Dupree, talk about second op. There he is, gets a kill. Device tries to look through the smoke. Won't have the vision, but does have a line. If he wanted to just fire into it, he may have had a chance to find Zeus early on, but they've backed out of it. Whoa, Edward, watch, I was going to say, as he flanks in, but misses again. We've seen a lot of people miss on open shots on flanks this tournament.
Dupree's not missing though, is he? That's his 3rd kill of the round. Through the smoke as well. Finds C's, he had a small gap to work with there, and he makes it happen. 2 players remain now for Na'Vi. Edward, low HP as well, 34 to be exact. Zeus with him. They have got 1 smoke and 2 Molotovs to work with here as they head back towards A. Time ticking away, of course, in true Na'Vi fashion. Glaive finds the penultimate kill, and it should be Zeus to go down solemnly with the ship here, as a captain should do.
Zeus, good shot to get Glaive. Molotov lands top stairs. Zeus, quick switch won't cost him out. He didn't have much time to work with Zeus, just trying to get to the site. 9-6. We see a normal halftime scoreline for Astralis and Na'Vi on this map. We haven't seen too many of those this tournament, at least not you and I.
It was a 5-2 deficit for them to open things up. It seemed like Na'Vi had done everything right, but as you saw then, Dupree with the AWP seems to be the secondary AWPer for Astralis, and working out quite nicely for him in number 15 there. So we move on to the second half here. As I kept saying earlier on, Astralis, essentially one of the scariest teams in the world on the T side of Overpass. I think everyone knows by now that a lot of teams copy their strategies in terms of their executions, and it's generally considered to be one of the very best. There's Sonic, of course, the dossier of information. Maybe it's what Na'Vi do. Maybe it's an idea of what they can do in certain situations. Seized, of course, a player who I thought was lucky to get through the roster shuffle in this team.
Yeah, originally he was on the exit. He was getting the boot or moving on in his own right. I'm not sure which. It seemed like there was a lot of drama in the back end of the Na'Vi switches, to be fair.
There was, for sure. Well, here we go then. Much needed pistol for Na'Vi here. They won it in the first half. Can they replicate that form in the second? 4 sets of armor for Astralis. 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs for Glaive. Inspector Gadget, if you will.
Inspector Gadget. What happens if they carry a bunch of utility into Jaden round? Inspector Gadget, Jaden round?
Yeah, that's the ultimate.
That's what I thought. Think of all the money, baby.
Yeah.
Device takes down Simple. Good start for Astralis, but they've got more company. A crossfire set. Flamey's got 1. But they found Edward beforehand, so the crossfire falls, and therefore Flamey has to back off. That'll allow them to re-grab the bomb, but Zeus rotates back through the bathroom and is able to catch off a quick side of the headshot, excuse me, and get away. Device back in, finds Flamey. Bomb still down, but now will be grabbed. This time, I can say it with authority.
3 on 2. Zeus with the defuse kit as well. Glaive, very low HP. Still anyone's round, really, but look at that shot from Device. Very calm. Sits behind the rock. Takes Zeus down with 1 bullet, of course. Now sees the player we've just been discussing. He heads towards the B site. And this is perfect. You can see 1 player running towards B. That'll be Zipex. Even if he dies here, they've got the information as to where Seized is. That's not a huge deal. Seized needs to work out if he worked. Okay, did pull the trigger, didn't even find the frag. Go away now, boys. That's it. Run in. This is horrible.
What is going on?
Nice, I guess. Got him.
Henry's super impressed.
Well, the bomb will be planted. This still could have a few more twistle turns, but he is on 28 HP with the smoke down. I don't think Seas will get much done here. Key player in front of him, but what we saw with the USP in the previous interaction, I thought it looked like he'll be dealt with momentarily. There it is. Device, what a monstrous round that is from him. 4 kills. Very quiet in the first half, but looking to get back into this one now. Some lovely shots there with the USP, especially that one. Good lord.
I think here, just by the way, I think he was out of ammo. It's the only... Oh, I did pull his pistol out to get and shoot. Never mind. So what was Zipex doing?
I'm more asking as to what Seized is doing with the misses. That's all.
Yeah, fair enough. I thought Zipex was out of ammo, but he apparently took a shot at the end, so I don't know what he was doing either.
Yeah. I was just like, what?
That was the only thing that made logical made sense. Yeah. I don't know. How has he done that?
Who knows? Well then, here we go. Forced buy from Na'Vi. Everyone's all in. Simple's been dropped to scout, and he's got head armor. Wow. He is going tank mode, it seems. I assume it's seized. He drops it after getting the knife kill. He got an extra $1,500. So he'll drop the scout. Simple with the Superman in a weird way. And we'll push into the B side. Sees with the first frag, but gets taken down shortly after that. Still an interesting trade, yeah.
Yeah. Needed to trade that back. They did. Dupree got it. It was, yeah, surprising. Simple. Bold. Aggressive as always. Has a 2 versus 2 to work with. Trying everything he can with the scout. Why not? Bomb's not yet planted. Device waits for him to walk into the open, and Device will collect both if they go to 11-6. They did put the bomb down in the process, just to be sure.
Just to be sure. Extra $300 for the planter, of course. Always worth getting it down, even though if you know the round is guaranteed. Full eco now for the CTs. 2K for Simple. He'll get $2,400 into the next round. So that orbs is not a possibility, I'm afraid. Unless he gets a frag in this round. Number 18. 11-6. Charles looking for 12. Should almost be guaranteed to get it. Device doesn't even buy anything more. Wow. He saves the silence USB, if you will, in the previous round. Looking to find everything fragged. So you know they're unarmored as well. That's more than enough. Just tap those heads away.
Just tap it in. Tap it in.
Could find himself in a bit of a spot of bother, perhaps. Yep, down he goes.
Desperate.
Yeah.
At the end. Part of this is going to be Glaive Dupree rotating around. Dupree, good. Oh, fast. Right, fast. Find Simple in the corner. And it's just seized, well removed from the action. Although I say that, he's slipping up just behind where the bomb has just passed, but he doesn't really have the weaponry to do much about that. And that's merely 1 kill out of 4 that he would need as Ipix quickly finds him, and they make it now 12-6.
12-6. Na'Vi, like we said, the Orbis won't be a possibility here in the first gun round, but Device, his certainly is. His count sits at 11 kills, 12 deaths. Slowly getting back into this game, very slow first half for him, but Glaive, the in-game lead on 20 frags. Top fragging for his team, doing a tremendous job, I have to say. Big round here, no kits available for Na'Vi. Trying to go aggressive at the start. Simple with no nades whatsoever. Same story for Edward now. And we'll go towards long. They know the ult probably isn't a possibility, and they're going very quickly indeed. I like this. The assertiveness from Astralis coming in. I'll be leading the charge here with Dupree as well. 2 of the finest fraggers for the team. Backed up by the anchor of Device there, the AWP, towards the end of long. Flashing towards the bathrooms and getting tons of information very early on into the round here.
Simple and Edward waiting. Device, meanwhile. AWP will not find the opening he's seeking, but he'll give the bomb away as well to see if he can get a better alignment. Not have to risk dropping the bomb quite so quickly. In the open if he were to do so. A spray back out toward long. Nearly collects Glaive, but it's Dupree that's already low enough in the front of the bathrooms and has to be a little bit cautious of his approach. They still want to go on the A site. 36 seconds. 3 players inside of it for Na'Vi. 1 less as they immediately get an entry kill from Kiarbi, but Edward is able to trade.
Smokes deployed. Bomb coming up longest. Whoa, how has Glaive got away with that? Simple can't find the frag. That should be the plan coming through. Edward has to try and deny it here, but look at the smokes. So on point. CTs, like we said, no kits going into this round. They've got the man disadvantage. Device, easy frag, apparently not. Misses it. That could be beginning of the end, but still in a very good position.
Still the advantage with the bomb down. That shot made the end come quicker. He's going to go to the AK instead. Edward heard him pushing up, so positioned accordingly, so too is seized, but the smoke's in front. They're actually on it. They don't even realize it. They just barely got the deny. As Glaive, I didn't quite see the time. I think there was actually a little bit more than I thought left in it, but Device got seized. But either way, could have been sneaky. Could have been a getaway punch.
Could have been, but it wasn't. 13-6, we're coming to the closing sectors here. What seemed like it was going to be a very good game when Na'Vi are up 5-2.
Yeah, apparently a bear doesn't shit in the woods.
Okay. Well, is that something you said earlier on?
Yeah, I promised good Counter-Strike based on obvious is obvious.
Ah, I see what you mean. Well, is this the force buy? It's not. So, looking for maximum loss winners next round. A partial buy from Na'Vi, that'll bring them to 14-6 deficit. So, well, feels like Astralis are indeed going to pick up map number 1 here. As Galvi finds the first frag, and the second as well, of course. 3 in total. You get the idea. It looks like Astralis will be running over the B bomb site and finding this round very easily. Not too hard at all. It's going to be simple and Edwards. Try and find a few consolation frags if possible.
Bomb has been planted.
Okay, goes back to check and does spot out Simple. Waiting down below. It's Glaive that will get the information and benefit from it. But they all benefit, Henry. It's a win for Astralis because they'll go now on to 14 rounds and be 2 away from taking map 1. A map they typically are quite good on, although we've said that about SK today on Train, and that didn't quite go their way, did it?
We go to Mirage next.
Miragi.
And Train if required. I'm not sure it will be required here, but Simple, he's a bit of a Mirage specialist when it comes to the AWP. We'll see whether he can step back out. I don't know, I'm talking like this one's over. It feels like it kind of is. 14-6. No round posted in the second half by Na'Vi as of yet. It's Kiabi, like I said, having a very good game in the second half at least. 23 frags now for Glaive. There's Device. Hasn't had the best game in total, 12 and 12, but he's always the star player for Astralis. It's nice to know they can still win games even when he is having a bit of an off one. He was on, what, 3 for 11 at one point? Which is very rare, especially on Overpass, normally where he does his absolute best work.
Fair point.
Oh, they've done it again!
Goodness.
How many times are they going to give him the chance to hit that shot, Matt? Why does every team do it against Dupree?
Dupree is actually amazing at that shot.
But like, everyone always jumps.
Every time. Straight into it. I mean, they did get a leveling kill. Let's not rule it out. Let's not rule it out. They got a leveling kill with the AWP of Simple, but yeah, there's no need. It's just... It's tantalizing, isn't it? You walk around, you're like, oh, I'm here pretty quickly. I'll just take a quick bang.
Let's have a little look.
Yeah, dead. How's that look treating you?
Well, the 4 and 4 still favors the T's, unfortunately. If you're not aware as to why, it means the CT's defenses are spread pretty thin, and that certainly helps. Flamey does find Dupree eventually through the smoke at short, and now they have got the advantage. 1 minute remaining. Device with the AWP towards long. Nothing really to work with here. You can see a player tucked in the corner there. That'll be Zeus. As the smoke goes down, though, needs to be careful. Luckily, there are no Molotovs available for the T side, so he won't be flushed out of the position anytime soon. Flash comes in, peek around the corner. Taken down.
Not bad to take out Zeus. Opens some space up, brings them back level. Kiabi gets close, so too does Glaive, 32, but they're considering the opposite, going back over toward B after that pick, and leaving Kiabi to be the salesman. Quick smoke in and a run back, though, should reveal, because I think Edward's close enough, he'll have heard that. Although, as soon as I say it, Simple's rotated back around, so perhaps not. Perhaps they have made the right call as Flamey. Inside of Monster will swing back, finds Glaive, down goes immediately. The AWP for Simple tries to go for the wall bang through the pallets. Not often successful, and Device just uses the sound to find, take him down, and kill, secure the round. 15-6 for Device. And Astralis, but Device as well.
1 round to go. That could be it. Astralis, dominant performance here in the second half, haven't given away anything. 6-0 currently. Here's the replay map. He hits the shot every time. No one else does this, by the way, as consistently as he does. It's something quite bizarre. Whether he practices that shot, I don't know. It just seems to work out for him every single time. Famises, UMPs, a couple of M4s, no kits. Of course, you have to buy a match point. And this is a 5-2 beginning for Na'Vi, and it's 15-6. They really have dropped off somewhat after winning the pistol in the first half.
A clever pistol from Astralis with the double boosts toward construction, but ultimately it didn't work because they went to the other side of the map and the rotations weren't quite quick enough. Seems ages ago since one of the last rounds they won with Simple on the Deagle in the 2 versus 2. 1 to go. Money's in their favor. There is a buy on the Na'Vi side. The famous Famus and a UMP.
Fantastic Famus.
Fantastic Famas. Famous Famus.
Well, this one could be done, Matt. I'm not going to build this round up too much. It seems like it's a 4-on-2. Flamey and Simple with no kits, no nades. The aforementioned Famous and A-side control, but there is a twist. Simple, smoked out. I thought that could be it. Finds an AK-47, but they just push through this. Nice movement, but Device ready and waiting. Takes him down. It's a 4-on-1. Flamey in the same position. He'll be dealt with momentarily. So going down 5-2, bringing it back to 16-6. That's very well done. Loving that from Astralis. It was a little bit scary for them at the beginning, but you can't really argue with that result, especially on the T side as well, not giving a single round away. I'm on your screen right now, Device. It's nice to know, even when he has a very off game, his teammates can still pull through. The likes of Glaive especially. Not usually fragging as high as his other teammates, but this game was an exception. Very, very good from him.
One thing I will say that I like about Device, and yes, okay, he struggled a little bit to get into the op and get rolling in this particular map, but I like that he's able to identify the, I guess, importance or stress in a situation and adjust the speed of his reactions accordingly. For example, the last round, jumping through the smoke, they've already got the advantage. He knows it's pretty much a foregone conclusion they're going to win. Takes his time to let Simple's movement come to a conclusion and land before pulling the trigger. A lot of ops would take a flick and think, I have to be fast all the time and miss that shot because they're just thinking, I have to be quick, I have to be quick. He's able to slow it down quite frequently and understand that, okay, if I miss, it's not the worst thing in the world in this scenario. He's also moving. Let's just, boom, hit it.
Make sure we actually
exactly. Whereas when he has to be quick, we know he is capable of it. But I don't often see, even at the top level, sometimes ops adjusting their reaction time in accordance with the situation.
Well, there you go. Situation here as map 1 is 16-6 in favor of Astralis. We do move on to Mirage next, where I feel like it could be the end of the Na'Vi run, at least of this particular round. I feel like 2-0 will be coming in. Astralis no slouches on Mirage either, but you never know, the bounce back could come through. We saw it with North and SK. We thought the first map, that was it. That was the end of North's run, but they won the series overall.
They did.
Could happen again. We'll take a quick break for now and see what happens in the second map.